Hi, I'm Kelsey Savak, and my country is Germany. For the purpose of the presentation, I work under the Minister for Economy, and I am presenting an online orientation for the incoming class of Ludwig Fellows, American exchange scholars who will be working 1 year in the Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy in Berlin. Welcome, Ludwig Fellows, to an overview on Germany's international economic standing. This presentation will include a couple assumptions. We'll be using 2018 data unless noted otherwise. We'll be using US dollars for easier comprehension. And we will be looking at EU countries separately rather than blocking them together under the European Union or Schengen area. First, an overview of Germany. It has a GDP of 3.948 trillion, a population of 83 million, GDP per capita of $47,600. Trade as percentage of GDP is 89%. People per square kilometers is 237. And the human capital index is 0.79, which is 12th highest overall, trailing a few Asian powerhouses and other EU countries. Germany borders Austria, Belgium, Switzerland, the Czech Republic, Denmark, France, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and Poland by land, and the United Kingdom and Sweden by sea. It's surrounded by EU countries noted in blue, has a northern shoreline of which it can reach the United States, Canada, and Mexico easily across the Atlantic, and Morocco and Gulf states directly south. The top exports are cars, vehicles, packaged medications, planes, helicopters, and spacecraft, and human or animal blood and vaccines. The percentage of GDP is 47%, and the net exports is $251 billion. Germany has a positive trade balance. Its export destinations are the United States, France, China, the United Kingdom, and Netherlands. This is another way of looking at its top exports. As you can see in the left-hand blue, it is manufactured items, with the light blue being vehicles dominated by cars. Imports as a percentage of GDP is 41%, and the top import products are also cars and vehicle parts, but also include crude petroleum, packaged medications, and again, animal or blood and vaccines. Top import destinations are China, the Netherlands, France, the United States, and Italy. Again, you can see that it also imports a lot of mechanical equipment, more so computers and computer materials, and cars is a smaller percentage of imports as it is exports. Some interesting notes that the surplus of trades and goods is $228 billion, while it runs a small deficit of trades and services of $20.7 billion. However, it ranks third in international trades and services, exports plus imports together, with a total of $708.5 billion. As you can see here, Germany for the last 2 decades has been extremely high on the share of world trade goods, losing a few percentages over the last couple decades to China. Its global revenue of trades and services in billion US dollars is 708.5, as you can see in this chart, just another way to look at it. Germany benefits from its openness. It is much more open than many countries outside of the EU, and indeed the only countries that have a higher degree of openness are countries within the Schengen area. As apparent from the current chart, Germany's current account surplus, which is trade plus income, has kept growing even as the two nations, perhaps even more famous for their surpluses, China and Japan, have seen theirs shrink. In 2016, Germany's current account surplus blew past China's in absolute terms, $297 billion to $196 billion. even though China's economy is 3 times bigger. Germany's bilateral trade surplus with the United States has grown a lot too over the course of the current economic recovery prior to COVID, although it has shrunk a bit since 2015. The surplus, here you can see the surplus to requirements. Germany runs a high surplus of its current accounts. And one of the reasons this may be is its relative low labor costs to other large European countries, such as Spain or Italy. This also may contribute to its high percentage of manufacturing employment compared to other similar economies. Again, the top export countries are United States, France, China, Netherlands, the United Kingdom, and you can see how that will benefit them through first having low transportation costs. Three of those top 5 countries border Germany, and transportation costs to the US and China are also low, in part due to scale and in part due to the US, its top country, being relatively near. Tariffs on cars, the top dominant German export, to all 5 of its top importers, have minimal tariffs on most of the countries. Currently, there's a 2.5% tariff on European cars to the United States. This is extremely low, and although the Trump administration has threatened to raise it to 25%, it hasn't yet, and in that case, more German companies would look at opening plants in the United States. EU tariffs between each countries are also minimal. The exception is that Chinese tariffs on German cars are about 25%. Germany also benefits from scale, producing about 6 million cars a year, which makes this the 3rd largest car producer in the world. A large percentage of Germans also use their cars, allowing Germany to benefit from the home market effect. I'd also like to highlight that the relatively land poor, raw materials poor, and labor in terms of number of contributing individuals is poor compared to other major economies. However, as we saw through that CPI, the labor is highly skilled and productive, and there's high levels of technologies, meaning that the service industry is strong, as well as that technical manufacturing. Germany's exchange rate from the euro to US dollar has dropped in 2015 and has recovered a little bit but stayed lower, which might contribute to its export competitiveness. And we see this similar pattern with the yuan. The COVID-19 impact has a few impacts, such as the threat of protectionism. In early March, Germany briefly banned the export of protective medical equipment. It has since lifted the ban. As economists, we recommend against any other protectionist measure, especially within the EU. Exports has also taken a hit, and Germany's top country, the United States, is particularly vulnerable and currently has 44% of the world's recorded COVID-19 cases. We recommend to temporarily support these industries for future rebound and provide temporary relief to workers. Germany has also closed borders on surrounding countries, including Belgium and the Netherlands, and has closed travel to most individuals outside Germany. We recommend that the containment is necessary to recover the economy, and until widespread testing and vaccines become more available, mitigating free movement and adding barriers to immigration and travel is necessary for reducing future economic damage and protecting public health. Thank you very much.